guys, this is Ackley SamAttack4427 here with, well, a very special video for all of you guys, and yeah, I hope all of you guys are actually enjoying pretty much the first week now of course April as we speak. So yeah, hard to believe that we're almost about 10 days into the month of April as of now. So but yeah, I guess currently as of now, I think I'm taking this time for, of course, this month to ease things down a bit, since after what I've actually been through throughout March last month for sure, and yeah, all that sort of good stuff from what I can gather for sure. So yeah, I guess quite frankly, things have actually been quite busy, of course, my front, and yeah, again, I need to take this time this month to actually slow down a bit for sure, but hey, I guess, given for all that, I figure it makes sense for me to make this video as we speak on something that's actually big on my mind, in particular for sure, and well, I guess probably by the time this video goes live, I'm already more than 10 videos away towards reaching 1,000 videos that I'm posting on my main channel. I mean, holy shit! I can't believe I nearly made 1,000 videos on, of course, this channel as of now. But I seriously gotta think about making a special video for that special occasion that'll be coming up. Well, hey, but yeah, I think probably by the time this video goes live, I'm probably already in the works to actually get that going, so it'll be quite interesting to see how that'll turn out for sure, so. But until that comes around, I figure I would probably make this special video as of now on something that's actually been on my mind for quite some time now, and surprisingly enough, pretty much one experience I had some time ago may have actually prompted me to, of course, make this video as we speak, so I figure for today's video as of now, I think it makes sense for me to talk about my experience, or let alone my interactions that I had with anyone from, of course, well, pretty much my fans of course, on my channel for sure, so yeah, I think it makes sense for me to actually do this special video for sure. Actually talk about, of course, pretty much my experiences and, of course, my interactions with, of course, my fans for sure. So yeah. I guess I made no secret that, I guess throughout my years making content, of course, on YouTube and stuff, and let alone my presence on, of course, the internet in general, I've actually been growing a bit of a following for sure in particular, and of course, pretty much like any other celebrity, you're actually going to be met with, of course, some really nice fans that will, of course, you know, interact with you, saying that, pretty much saying some stuff that will give you a lot of love for sure, because if anything, they want to show your support, and of course, what they have to, yeah, on all that sort of stuff, so yeah, and of course, I mean, no big surprise on that front that, yeah, believe it or not, I actually did have my fair share of course, interactions with, of course, my fans for sure, and of course, probably, I guess, the reason why I never actually mentioned any of that, of course, my videos for sure, let alone, talk about that, and of course, my own video, which I'm doing right now, is that, honestly, I think, yeah, I think I know hands down that I've always pretty much, I think I don't want to bombard on my fan base a little too much for sure, let alone get them too excited, of course, what they have to endure for sure, but I just keep on doing what I normally do, of course, on my channel, and of course, I give you guys some really nice and fresh content that you can all love and admire for sure, whether it be anything revolving around any of my Thomas stuff, or of course any of my cosplays, or any convention I go to, or any of my reviews in particular for sure, and let's not forget to mention everything else from Y Together, like of course everything on my social media, from of course my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, to of course the stuff that I'm putting up on my Patreon for sure, and but yeah, I think you can pretty much get the idea, of course, on that front entirely. I never actually, pretty much every once in a while, I think I would pretty much, I think I would probably mention, like, one of my fans for sure, and give them a nice shout out for sure, but I've never actually, pretty much talked about my fan base entirely for its own video for sure. But that's something I figure I would do in this video for sure, and I mean, in all honesty, throughout my experiences for sure, I think I pretty much, I know hands down, I think I know hands down that my fans for sure, I think I'm not pretty much all against, of course, what they're doing. Oh no, I think I actually really do admire, of course, the love and support they're actually giving to me for sure. To which by the time you're watching this video, as of now, I couldn't help but thank all of you guys for that. So. But yeah, I guess either way, I think in regards to, of course, pretty much all that, I think I don't normally, of course, pretty much get so much going on in regards to my fan base for sure, and every sometimes my subscriber growth, of course, pretty much on my main channel would differ every once in a while. Sometimes I would get like 1 or 2 new subscribers at a time, while other times I don't entirely, and yeah. And the same thing can apply for any of my social media platforms entirely, let alone all the other stuff, like of course my TikTok page, my Twitch page, my Discord server, my Patreon, and that's just to name me a few for sure. So, and of course, if anything in regards to, of course, pretty much, of course, my fan base, pretty much around from, of course, where I live for sure. I mean, in all honesty, I think I've never actually had any interactions with, of course, pretty much any fans in any public area that I would actually go to around my area. In fact, if anything, if I actually go to a public place as normal, I'm pretty much treated like any other person for sure. Just being a little casual, to say the least, with no one taking notice of you in the slightest, and I guess in all honesty, I think I pretty much, I guess if anything, that's I guess that's fine from what I can gather. I actually don't mind it, truth be told. In fact, if anything, I actually didn't mind pretty much be treated like any other person in particular for sure, whenever I go to a public place as just myself for sure, but I guess that's pretty much just to name me a few from what I can gather entirely. But of course, in regards to my fans, whenever something would actually pop up entirely, honestly, I think it actually feels great that I would actually get these interactions from, of course, my fans for sure. Hell, I think I dare even say, I think right around last year, given to the amount of videos I'm actually putting out, of course, on my channel, I did have my fair share with interactions with, of course, my fans for sure, let alone the ones I actually got for the past few years now for sure. But particularly 2019 is probably without a doubt pretty much the one year I've actually got bombarded with, of course, so much stuff from, of course, my fans. I would actually get like messages from, of course, my Instagram, or of course my Facebook or Twitter or any platform that I actually use, and I would actually get contact via email entirely, to which To which, yeah, surprisingly enough, I was really quite surprised with, for sure. I'm actually, I think as cool it is that I actually got some really nice messages from, of course, the, pretty much the fans who follow me on social media. I'm even more surprised when, of course, I would get pretty much emails from, of course, my fans entirely, and bit of an interesting story that I should actually bring up. The emails I've actually been getting from, of course, my fans, I would actually forward them over to my mom, letting her know that, hey, it looks like someone who is a big fan of my channel actually got in touch with me, and she was actually really quite amazed that I've actually pretty much got pretty much those kind of emails for sure, because it actually does show that they want to show their love and support to what I do, which, in all honesty, I'm actually really quite thrilled with for sure, and of course, let alone everything from what I can gather, I will admit, the stuff I actually got from, of course, my fans entirely, it actually really does warm my heart for sure, because if anything, I think probably my worst fear from what I can gather would definitely be that I would post some stuff regularly, and I would probably hear nothing from, of course, any of my subscribers entirely, which yeah, I guess if anything, it's I think I know it's probably a little common for most people entirely, but at the same time, it can actually be quite depressing in my opinion, and but yeah. And sometimes I think you do need pretty much a good chunk of fans to interact with each other, let alone the person creating the videos, to, you know, get a whole community actually going for sure. So I guess in all honesty, I'm actually I guess if there's one thing I can take away from, of course, the countless amount of interactions that I've actually got online from last year, I really do admire, of course, what they've actually pretty much the kind words that they've actually gave to me for sure. Like, of course, like, let's say someone actually has a similar interest as much as I do, which will actually quite surprise me, and let alone there would be some people say that that they pretty much use me as their inspiration to actually do something very creative with what they have to do, and in all honesty, I think that's actually really quite thrilled. Yeah, that's really quite thrilling from what I can gather. I really do love on the way I actually get those interactions for sure. And again, it really does warm my heart, given to, of course, the countless amount of ones I've actually been getting over the past few years as of now. And that's actually very recently from what I can gather, with probably a whole lot more that I couldn't list at the top of my head, because it will actually pretty much take up the entire video for sure, let alone over an hour entirely. So, but yeah, I guess either way, I guess I know hands down, I always do love pretty much getting the countless amount of messages entirely on my social media for sure, let alone the emails I actually get from, of course, my fans who would get in contact with me for sure. And now, full disclosure, I know hands down I can't actually respond to every single message or every single email from, of course, what I can gather for sure, because if anything, sometimes I would probably be a little bit too busy with, of course, other things, while other times I do have my own set of boundaries for sure, and yeah, and I think chances are, I think if you actually would do something that would actually cross that said boundaries for sure, chances are you're probably not going to get some really great results, and let alone pretty much the other people interacting with each other, let alone me for sure, and especially me from what I can gather. They'll probably take it the wrong way, and you'll be faced with some massive consequences for sure. probably, I guess, a really good example of course, what I mean is, of course, the most recent video that Robinberry Coding of Anime America actually posted in regards to, of course, one of the fans of Celeste from Mega Runner, who goes by the name of Brady Shaw. He's been trying his best to get in contact with, of course, Celeste, pretty much ever since she was replaced pretty much some time ago, ever since not only with, of course, her character Tari pretty much being part of Mega Runner, but also part of another YouTube channel, SMG4, and in all honesty, I think I pretty much, if anything, I do see where Robin and the others are actually coming from entirely, and I think what Brady Shaw actually did was just absolutely insulting from what I can gather, and not only that, but also pretty much harass pretty much Robin, Tari, and of course Celeste entirely, but mainly pretty much blaming his autism for what he's doing. I actually do find that massively insulting from what I can gather for sure. I mean, hell, I think I will say right now, I have autism as well, but I know hands down, I would never do any of that type of stuff for sure, So yeah, if I would have actually tried to get in touch with a celebrity I actually do like for sure, I would only do it once, and that is it. Nothing else. So yeah, I guess if anything, I would just pretty much do it only once and then move on to, of course, other things for sure. And if they don't respond, then that's fine. I'll take it for what it is entirely and just move on from there. And I think that's something Brady Shaw actually failed to do entirely for sure. And chances are I do have to side with Robin and the others for sure. Pretty much, if anything, if they are telling Brady Shaw to stop, then he needs to stop. So yeah. I guess that's probably from what I can gather for sure. I see a good example of course, pretty much not crossing some boundaries for sure. So yeah, that's what I can gather on, of course, that front. And plus, I think in regards to the whole Brady Shaw incident that Robin from Anime America actually brought up for sure, that almost kind of reminded me of course, pretty much, I'm pretty sure you remember the videos that I did years ago when I talked about the whole situation in regards to Ackley SamAttack4427 Productions, and of course, the way he's trying to impersonate me, and of course, copy my username entirely for his own channel, and all that sort of stuff, and the ways he actually tried everything to, you know, bring me down entirely ever since I posted those videos entirely, let alone pretty much going on to, of course, my Discord server and sending out some massive hateful messages entirely, yeah, and yeah. I think you can pretty much get the idea on, of course, that front. I think the whole Brady Shaw incident that Robin from Anime America actually brought up in, of course, her recent video is kind of similar to what I had to deal with the whole Ackley SamAttack4427 Productions thing that happened a long time ago for sure. And yeah. And I think I'm pretty sure that pretty much the way that Ackley, they actually clearly say that Ackley SamAttack4427's mother actually got into our Discord server and sent out all these hateful messages. I'm pretty sure that is a massive lie entirely, and I'm pretty sure that is the actual kid who actually did that for sure. But I'm getting way too off track for sure, so yeah. I mean, I actually don't mind getting some Cosic messages or let alone emails from, of course, my fans for sure. So yeah, and hopefully if things don't get too hectic and I'm not too busy with, of course, other things, I would definitely respond entirely for sure. And And thankfully, with my interactions with, of course, my fans online, for sure, thankfully, no boundaries have actually been crossed, for sure. They actually treated me with a whole lot of respect, and they actually gave me all the love and support from what I could gather, and I think that's actually really great. You definitely want fans to actually act that way towards a celebrity that they actually really like, for sure, and that's certainly why I actually got with, of course, my fans, of course, on my channel. Now, I know a certain someone that goes by the name of Universe Twisters, who I actually mentioned in one of my videos, for sure, is probably looking as like, oh man, you're only using your fans as an excuse to, you know, brush up your own ego. Like, oh, give me a break. I mean, come on. Do I ever use it as an excuse to brush up my own ego? I don't think so. And if you think, pretty much, you think I kind of am, I want to see some proof of that entirely, because if anything, I've actually fully matured over the years, for sure. So yeah, that's of course why I can gather on, of course, on my front, for sure. So I think with the countless amount of interactions I've actually got from, of course, my fans online, I think that's actually a really great thing entirely. And again, it really does warm my heart whenever I get these type of messages and emails and stuff. And like I said, normally if I'm not too busy with, of course, other things, I would definitely try my best to actually respond entirely. Hell, I dare even say with the countless amount of birthday message videos that I've actually been putting out, it actually does show that I actually pretty much, if you have been seeing all of those videos that I've been putting out, you would definitely know that I actually do care for of course, my fans entirely, for sure. So yeah, I think that's pretty much from what I can gather online and stuff. Now, for some interactions I actually have with, of course, my fans in person, for sure. Yeah, that is, of course, another whole other story from what I can gather, and well, as I mentioned earlier in this video, I actually did state that whenever I actually go to a public place as normal, I would actually be treated like any other person from what I can gather, for sure. But however, every once in a while, I actually do have my fair share with interactions with, of course, my fans, pretty much in person, wherever I go someplace in particular, for sure. Like, of course, a good example from what I can gather is that I think with the countless amount of conventions I've actually been going to, for sure, I think pretty much from what I can gather, of course, my part entirely, I think pretty much of anything, wherever I actually go to a convention, for sure, I would actually be treated like, of course, pretty much like any other attendee, for sure, and especially when, of course, I go out cosplaying, for sure, I would actually get pretty much get a good number of people that would come up to me as like, oh hey, yeah, I really like your cosplay. Do you suppose I could actually get a good picture of you? And yeah, I had to pull out my Kodak digital camera as a good example from what I can, of course, this example. And yeah, I think sometimes it actually does help. I would actually do exactly that, and of course get some nice, pretty much being some nice pictures and videos of course, me and my cosplays in particular, from, of course, other people entirely. But, of course, let's offer, but, of course, in regards to what I'm actually bringing up, and, of course, this video, for sure, I guess entirely, I think from what I can gather, you would definitely know that for the past several years, I've actually been putting out my promo videos in regards to my conventions that I'll be going to for the past few years now, which I'm still really proud on how well they've actually turned out, for sure. And And of course, every once in a while, I think I would actually pretty much get a good chunk of people that would actually come up to me and be like, hey, are you that Ackley attack guy? And I'm like, yeah, and of course, they pretty much went from there for sure. Sometimes they would actually be like, hey, I actually saw your promo video, and I'm really impressed on how well that turned out, and I figure I would probably come up and see you for sure, and of course, on the other hand, you would actually get a good chunk of, I would actually meet with a good chunk of people that would actually be like, oh, hey, you're Ackley Attack. Yeah, I have been a long-time fan of course, your videos entirely. I've always wanted to meet you in person for sure, so. But yeah, that's actually a good example from what I actually mean, and of course, if anything, I actually really do like the good amount of interactions I get from my fans whenever I actually go out to a convention for sure, and of course, with each and every single one that I've actually had over the years, yeah, I think much like with what I said when I actually get messages and emails from, of course, my fans online for sure, it really does surprise me in a rather great way that I would actually meet my fans in person. In fact, probably a good example of what I actually mean is that I think it was right around last year when I went to TorCon for sure, and I was pretty much waiting in line to get some lunch entirely when one fan actually came up to me and we actually did have a really good interaction for sure, and plus he actually asked me if I can pretty much, if he can actually record a video of me giving out a little birthday message for a friend of his to which I probably won't get full out details for sure, just for privacy reasons, but either way, the fan actually asked me if he can record a video of me giving out a birthday message for a friend of his, and I was like, sure, yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much what I actually did from there, and of course, to the fan that I actually mentioned, of course, this part right here, I'm so sorry I didn't catch your name because, well, my mind was a little messed up around the time I was at that convention, and plus I had a whole lot going on entirely, but it was actually really nice to actually see you at that convention for sure, right around over a year ago, and I do hope you're a fan. And I do hope your friend is actually doing quite well ever since you recorded the video of me giving out a birthday message for sure, and I know that's saying a whole lot for sure, because if people were to ask me if I would be uncomfortable on camera, honestly, no, not entirely. There was never one moment where, of course, I'm actually uncomfortable on camera. Hell, I'm actually recording this video as of now, and I'm not uncomfortable on camera for sure, so. But yeah, I guess either way, I'm actually really quite grateful entirely. So I guess either way, I think pretty much that's actually one good example of course, some fan interactions I had whenever I actually go out to conventions for sure. And chances are, if I do actually plan on going to more anytime soon, maybe I think it might grow from there. But you may never know on what might actually happen for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much a good example of course, what I actually mean. But for one of my most recent experiences that I actually had interacting with, of course, my fans, well, that actually did happen pretty much well over a few weeks ago for sure, and trust me, this is actually the one moment that actually prompted me to, of course, make this video in the first place. So yeah, I think pretty much this interaction actually happened just right around the week after I went to Syracuse Collectors Con, which was actually a really great time for sure, and of course, pretty much of anything for movie-wise, I decided to head on down to the Regal Cinemas down in Ithaca to actually catch the theatrical release of the Disney and Pixar movie Luca, which was actually a really great time, and I actually really had a fun time actually finally seeing it on the big screen, and plus, if you actually saw my re-review that I did some time ago, you would definitely know that I definitely love that movie the second time around compared to the first time for sure. So yeah. And of course, around the time I actually got in for sure, like of course I paid for my ticket. I of course got my bucket of popcorn and my bottle of water and everything, so I'm all set and good to go. And of course, I actually pretty much posted a few pictures and stuff, and I put it up on my social media for sure, letting people know, hey, I'm at the Regal Cinemas down in Ithaca about to see Luca for sure. I'll let you know on what I thought of this movie this time around compared to the last time I actually saw it, and I shit you not when I actually mentioned that, and I did mention that in, of course, my re-review that I did on Luca. Pretty much, believe it or not, one person actually saw my post entirely, and suddenly deduced the heck I'm actually a hero for sure, and of course he actually, pretty much from what I could gather, I think I noticed him getting up out of his seat and walking up towards the top aisle where I was about to see the movie, and of course came up to me and say, oh hey, I'm a big fan of course, your content and stuff, and it's actually really great seeing you here, and I mean, all honesty, that's something I actually didn't expect, hands down, because, truth be told, I always do love going to the movie theater to actually see a movie on the big screen for sure, and that's something I still actually love doing entirely, not just ever since I was a little bitty itty-witty kid, pretty much going to a movie theater to see a new movie on the big screen for sure. But of course, it's something I always love doing, and especially with, of course, the movies I reviewed, and of course, my thoughts videos for sure. And let's not forget to mention, I still want to pursue my future career in the film industry, which I still hope to actually get around to anytime soon for sure. Hopefully with some stuff that I'll actually do that'll, you know, get me a whole lot of experience for sure. And from what I can recall, I think throughout my years going to a movie theater, seeing a movie on the big screen, I had never, ever actually experienced with, of course, pretty much one of my fans of course, on my content actually come up to me right before the movie started at the movie theater, and I actually had an interaction with, of course, one of my fans. Now, that was probably the first time in my life that I had something like this happen for sure, and I was like, stunned but amazed that it actually did happen for sure. And luckily enough, pretty much the fan actually was like, I actually got to talk with the fan for a bit, not just before the movie started, but right around after the movie was over, and I was about to get my refill of popcorn, and I was about to hang out and leave and head for home for sure. And yeah, in all honesty, I was actually really quite amazed that that actually happened for sure. And of course, to the fan that is, of course, watching this video, who I actually met at the Regal Cinemas down in Ithaca, thank you so much for spotting me while I was there for sure. And yeah, it was actually really great seeing you around the time Luca was, of course, having its theatrical run for sure. So yeah, that actually really amazed me from what I can gather, and I guess that was actually one fond memory that that I am most certainly keeping anytime soon, or let alone never forgetting. So I guess in all honesty, I think with my interactions with, of course, my fan base for sure, both online and in person for sure, again, I actually find that as a really, really great positive experience for me for sure. So yeah, the way people actually come to me and say, hey, I really love your content, you're such an inspiration to me, and keep on doing what you do. again, stuff like that really does warm my heart for sure, and I can't get enough of that entirely. Now, of course, a lot of you guys may be asking, have I ever gotten frustrated by my fan base? Well, not entirely for sure. In fact, I always do love my fan base for what it is. But the only things that might get me a little bit frustrated would be the fans that do not show respect for my work, but honestly keep annoying me with constant updates for sure without the realization that I do have an outside life. But other than that, I actually have no problem with my fan base for sure, so. And for the fact that I'm already pretty much surpassing about 2 1/4 subscribers, or should I say about 2.25 thousand subscribers as we speak. Probably by the time I'm putting up this video as of now. I guess it really does show that I always, that of course, the interactions with, of course, my fans saying that they really love what I'm doing. I'm serving as a big inspiration to what they're doing, and they want to continue showing support to me. That alone is enough to make me say to myself, yes, that's actually one of the main reasons I keep on doing what I do for sure. And yeah, like I said, I have no plans on slowing down entirely. So yeah. Honestly, I think I really don't want it to stop from there for sure. I do want to keep on expanding my fans online with each and every single bits of new content that we're actually putting up for sure, whether it be my videos online or, of course, my cosplays and stuff, and a whole lot more, just to name me a few for sure. So yeah, am I going to have some times where, of course, I would be a little frustrated? Probably, but it's kind of hard to say from what I can gather. But as long as, of course, I keep on interacting, yeah, as long as you guys will keep on interacting and stuff and keep on showing your support to what I actually do, then yeah, I think that might actually be quite nice for sure. And I do want to keep on going with that, especially for many more years whenever I post new videos and stuff. But as long as, of course, pretty much there won't be any stalkers out there that would try to pretty much creep me out, or, of course, try to do something that'll pretty much either hurt me or kill me for sure, then yeah, I think, if anything, yeah, and let alone other things that will actually cross some boundaries for sure, I think I should be alright. And yeah, I think with the first part that I actually mentioned, I've actually read pretty much the good chunk of the Oshinoko manga for sure. In fact, let's see here. Yeah, here it is. So yeah, trust me, I actually read part of course, Volume 1 of course, Oshinoko. And trust me when I say, if you actually got to pretty much one part later on in this manga, you'll definitely know exactly what I mean for sure. I mean, seriously, this is actually really great by far, and I do hope to check out the anime sometime soon, but for now, I think this manga is actually really a great read for sure, so. But yeah, regardless on that, and as long as, of course, there won't be anything, there won't be anyone that will cross some boundaries, let alone someone that would actually try to hunt me down and kill me for sure, to which, trust me, if that actually does happen, then I might actually, I'm pretty sure there might be some legal troubles for sure on the person that would actually do it. So don't cross that boundary for sure. Yeah, I guess chances are, if pretty much if anything, as long as my fan base will, of course, keep on showing support to what I actually do and keep on giving me love and support to what I actually do, then I think my path to, of course, continue on with, of course, my online career is still gonna keep on going. Probably, I guess, until the pretty much the day I retire or die. I don't know when that day will actually come, but we'll definitely have to wait and see, of course, that, so. And I guess on that thought, I guess I'll pretty much do exactly that for this pretty long video for sure, so. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this latest video that I want to make for sure. And by all means, what do you guys think entirely? Pretty much, do you actually think that I've actually got my point across, or all that sort of stuff, or do you have a different opinion for sure? So yeah, definitely let me know in the comment section below. I think it would actually really mean a whole lot for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much everything that I can say on, of course, that front. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest video, and well, trust me when I say I've actually got plenty more content that'll be coming up very, very soon. I've got a whole lot going on entirely, and I've already got some big videos planned out entirely. So I'll definitely let you guys know on when they'll actually come out for sure. So now, if you'll excuse me, I think I might as well get myself caught up on, of course, my reading of course, Oshinoko for sure. And like I said, this is actually a really great manga for sure, so yeah, I'll definitely leave you at that. Take care, guys. Oh, this is actually quite interesting.
Special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon for making today's video possible, including my top tier supporters for this month, VD. So if you want to be like these guys and show your support to us, then go to patreon.com/AckleyTackTV to pledge now, do so, and get some awesome rewards within your budget. Hey guys, this is AckleyTack4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications, and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with Sam the Thomas Fan 1, SamAttack4427TheThomasFan1 Productions, for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. Feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, backley95@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up. Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I've posted on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon, as well as join our official Discord server to see what we've provided. If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and plenty more, in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and show your support to me on my wishlist on Amazon, and even supporting me at streamlabs.com/AckleyTackTV/tip that you can find in the description box below, as well as on my Twitch page. And in case you can't find any of the links that are provided, then not to worry about a thing. All the links and stuff are also provided on my link tree that you can also find in the description box below, as well as a few selected number of my social media pages. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.